Bounty hunting is the newest feature in Fallout 76, added in the Burning Springs update which just released a few days ago. Even though bounty hunting is a simple feature, there is a lot to it that you will need to know about. So in this video, I will be going over everything that you need to know about bounty hunting in Fallout 76, and I will explain why you need to be farming these bounties as often as you can. But first, if you're a fan of the Fallout games and the Fallout TV show, click the link in the pinned comment of this video to join my Fallout Discord server, where you can find other people to play Fallout 76 with, discuss the Fallout TV show, or just talk about anything related to Fallout. To start bounty hunting, all you will need to do is travel over to Highwaytown in Burning Springs. Once you're here, go to the Last Resort Saloon. And in the corner on the right you will see the ghoul. The ghoul here will be the same ghoul from the Fallout TV show, and this NPC is also voiced by Walton Goggins, who also plays the ghoul in the Fallout TV show.
Where I'm from is one of those things that's not your concern.
Now, while I'm not exactly sure of how the ghoul ended up here, this is a very impressive addition to the game. But you can talk to the ghoul and he will give you a basic rundown of the bounty hunting feature. But if you want, you can just skip this and grab a bounty off the table beside him. You should also know that you can do this pretty much as soon as you leave Vault 76. There is no level requirement for the bounty hunting feature. You can just come here and start bounty hunting right away. There are two different types of bounties, which are grunt hunts and head hunts. So let's start with grunt hunts. To start a grunt hunt, all you will need to do is grab one of the free bounties off of the table beside the ghoul. Grunt hunts are an easier bounty hunt that you can solo, which will send you to different areas of Burning Springs to fight legendary bosses to collect their bounty. While this might sound pretty simple and straightforward, these grunt hunt bosses will spawn with mutated modifiers, like the ones you would commonly find in daily ops or mutated public events, making them a little tougher than your average legendary enemy. For example, this bounty hunt that I was on was for a volatile outlaw, which is one of the easier ones as the volatile modifier just makes the enemy explode when they die, damaging all nearby players. But there are 6 other modified outlaws that you will encounter. The Frosty Outlaw's attacks will freeze players and slow them. The Healing Outlaw will heal nearby enemies and themselves. Stealthy Outlaws will be invisible while not attacking. Toxic Outlaws will create toxic clouds when they die. Swift-footed Outlaws will have highly increased movement speed and attack speed. And Resilient Outlaws can be damaged by any type of weapon, but they can only be killed by melee attacks. Once you kill your grunt hunt target, the quest will be completed and you will instantly receive your reward plus the loot off the outlaw's body. You're only able to do one grunt hunt at a time, so once your grunt hunt is done, you can head back to Highwaytown and grab another grunt hunt to do it again. There's no limit on how many grunt hunts you can do per day, so do as many as you would like. You can also bring friends with you for these grunt hunts and they will get rewards too. And an extra little tip is that the game will keep track of the last 3 grunt hunts that you did and the locations that they happened at. Then the game will prevent you from getting grunt hunts that will send you to those locations from the previous 3 grunt hunts, meaning you will basically be going to a new location every grunt hunt. Now this might sound a little crazy, but you want to do your first 60 grunt hunts as quickly as you can, and that's because of something that many people don't know. Grunt hunts will have different tiers, but at first you'll only have access to the first tier. By opening your challenge menu and looking at the Burning Springs section, you will see a tracker for grunt hunts. At first it will say to complete 10 grunt hunts, and the reward for this is the unlock for 2-star grunt hunts. This will then add a chance for grunt hunts to spawn 2-star legendary bosses instead of the normal 1-star boss, which will give you 2-star legendary rewards. Then the challenge will update and you will need to complete 50 more grunt hunts to unlock 3-star grunt hunts. And again, this will give you a chance of spawning a 3-star legendary boss that will give you 3-star legendary rewards. But we'll talk about why that's important later in the video. Now honestly, don't feel like you need to rush this. Eventually you'll do those 60 grunt hunts and you'll gain access to 3-star grunt hunts. I decided to rush this in one day because I wanted to see how deep this system went for this video. And that should be everything that you'll need to know about grunt hunts. They are fun and fast repeatable bounty hunts that give good rewards. But now let's talk about headhunts. Headhunts are much more challenging and will require multiple players to complete. Every time that you complete a grunt hunt, you will have a small chance of getting a wanted poster. Or you can buy wanted posters from the ghoul for 5,000 caps. But you'll only be able to carry one wanted poster at a time. So if you get a wanted poster while doing grunt hunts, use it quickly so that you can get another wanted poster from future grunt hunts. When you have a wanted poster, you'll need to take it to the bounty board outside of the Last Resort Saloon and stick it to the bounty board. This will then start a headhunt, and every player on your server will be alerted of this, just like a public event. Then you can fast travel to the headhunt and launch a flare to start the headhunt. That flare will then spawn a very hard boss. Along with that boss will be at least two 2-star legendary bodyguards and a bunch of other enemies. This is meant to be a hard fight, but some people have some crazy builds and they can melt the boss very quickly, so it will either be a challenge or it will be done and over very quickly. Now there's not much that you will need to know about these headhunt bosses, other than they will also have baked in modifiers that make them do a lot of damage, and they will have high health pools, making them very tanky. There's also a lot of different headhunt bosses that you can encounter, but there aren't any mechanics to these boss fights, you just need to head in and shoot them for loot. Now let's talk about why you need to be doing grunt hunts and headhunts as often as you can, and that simply comes down to the legendary rewards. Grunt hunts will always give you at least 2 legendary items. One will come from completing the grunt hunt and the second will be on the outlaw's body. These will be 1 to 3-star legendaries depending on the tier of the grunt hunt, and that's why you want to unlock 2 and 3-star grunt hunts as quickly as you can, so that you can encounter 2 and 3-star outlaws to get higher quality legendaries. Like I mentioned, you'll also get wanted posters from grunt hunts, which will let you start headhunts for free, and the headhunts are where the real rewards are. The primary target of the headhunt will always drop a 3-star legendary item, and the other legendary enemies at the headhunts will each drop 1 to 3-star legendary items, and for completing the headhunt you will also be given 3 3-star legendary items. I did a lot of these headhunts last night and I would always get at least 4 3-star legendaries, but sometimes I would get 6 of them. The legendaries that drop from grunt hunts and headhunts also have a higher chance of having the new legendary mods on them, which you can then scrap to either get that mod or learn how to craft it. That's why so many people are farming these bounties, because they're after all of those new mods. You will get a lot of legendary items from bounty hunting, like a ton of them. And because of how easy grunt hunts and headhunts are, you will get them very quickly. Now I'm not sure if this was intended, so there's a chance this could get nerfed in the future, so farm this while you can to get all of those legendary mods. There's also a lot of camp items and cosmetic items that you will get for completing these bounty hunting challenges, which you will find in the Burning Spring section of your challenge log. And that's pretty much everything that you'll need to know about the new bounty hunting feature in Fallout 76. I would love to know your thoughts on this new feature in the comments below. Hopefully this video helps you, and thank you for watching.